Well, good morning. The project I did had to do with trying to figure out how to speed up germination rates on seed. Reclamation is basically a lot of what we do in farming is reclamation, and it takes water to get things to germinate. And if we can reclaim things with less water, I think we can have way more of a resilient system if we know some of the key principles that are involved. And for me, it was soil biology and reclamation is what the journey I went down with this project. And so what I try to target primarily was a second trophic level of the soil food web by a soil amendment that actually fed the hypha fungi and caused more soil structure. And then once you get more soil structure and have a healthier soil food web, at that point there, your soil becomes a living sponge. It can hold more water and make everything better. So basically, agriculture is managed disturbance. We try to keep our fungal bacteria ratio in a late successional stage. Most of our agriculture tends to shift everything to a bacterial state. And then that's when we start getting compaction, water doesn't go in the ground. And a lot of the plants that we want to germinate don't germinate because they prefer to have more fungi in the system. So we end up having a lot of weeds. And that seems to be a trend that we see a lot. So I thought what I'd do is, and I started this project a couple of years ago, and then I was going to continue on with it with the grant money. And then so I had a hole that I needed to fill for a neighbor, and this was kind of a mistake. But the guys that filled it with gravel, and I thought, you know what, why not try to see if I couldn't reclaim that little piece of ground? It was basically stuff that was underneath the county road, and it was a gravel parking lot. So I glued the seed to the ground, I inoculated it, and I did two little projects. And when I put the biology down, wow, I saw that I could literally grow perennial grasses on a gravel parking lot. This is a project I started back in 19. So then this year, 3 years, well, last year this is the site that I showed initially that was the hole we filled in. And I actually planted some sagebrush and some native grasses, and they're thriving now, and they still are to this day. A couple things that were some key takeaways with the germination is the grass germinated quicker, the sagebrush germinated by shifting the biology in the soil. It actually stopped the weeds from growing. I mean, that was a really cool benefit to see. The side that I didn't treat had a lot of cheatgrass, and you can see in the slider, pigweed crested, and 4 years later still has mustard. It never changed, but the side that I did treat 4 years later, virtually no weeds. So I get back to some of the trials I did this year. Some native grasses that the seed company told me would take roughly 14 to 21 days before I started seeing little hairs come up. You can see in the slide here, the first plot I did, I threw a little vermicast on top of the seed on hard packed soil. 6 days later, that grass was, easily an inch tall. And then 80 days later, it was a complete success story. So I used the vermicast and a little inoculant to get it going, and that cut the germination rate down by almost a third. I did some other trials. I did trials kind of everywhere, and I guess the key takeaway was with the treated areas, I got to the three-leaf stage faster every single time, and germination was faster. And when I talk about the three-leaf stage, if you're and I did, and like on this site here, I waited till the heat of the summer to do it. Well, if the grass doesn't get to the three-leaf stage before killing frost, it's going to kill. It's going to winter kill, and that's when we plant stuff. We really want it to be around for the next season. I'm kind of excited to see how this will look next year. And it was all native grass, and I haven't been able to identify the different grasses yet, but next spring I will. Our company is Regenerative Land Solutions. Um, you can look us up on the website. I think we really can help push the system forward to getting systems more sustainable with less water if we're really cognizant of how we deal with the biology. Thank you.